Real quick trigger warning, because I'm triggered. So I'm probably going to pull some triggers. But I'm a sucker for difficult conversations. And today I'm speaking directly to MAGA. I don't care what y'all say in these comments. I see you guys talking about the tragic flooding happening in the state of Texas. And I'm here to remind you, it's not just Texas. It's the tornadoes in Oklahoma and Missouri. It's the rapidly approaching hurricane season for the state of Florida. It's Asheville being left in ruins because Biden gave them FEMA relief that Trump took away. And every time I remind you guys, this is what you voted for. You want to cry. Now's not the time to talk politics. Now is exactly the time to talk politics. Because you thought your political allegiances were going to own the libtards. You just handed us an I told you so movement. Oh, but the children, there's children. The children are suffering. Think of the children because they didn't vote, but you did. You're the same people who voted to defund every child in America's education. You're the same people who voted to rip children out of the arms of their parents and be sent to concentration camps. You're the same people who bullied an 11-year-old girl by threatening to call ICE on her parents until she committed suicide. Clutching to your Second Amendment right so you can overthrow an oppressive regime while installing one, and laughing at the libtards because we begged you to think of our innocent children being shot and murdered in school, at the mall, at parades. You're the same people who sent $675,000 to Shiloh Hendrix's GoFundMe because she called a 5-year-old child, the N-word, the same people who voted to take away food and health care from the poor children in your communities. You voted away the National Weather Association and FEMA that could have prevented the casualties and compensated the loss of property. And you want to say, now's not the time to talk politics. Let's think of the children. I will not think of your children. Because when you thought of mine, you actively wished evil upon them. And I don't wish evil upon children, but I damn sure won't send help to yours when you laughed at mine for being shot at school. Or other children for losing food, or their parents, or you rejoiced at the idea of a child escaping a concentration camp to be eaten by a fucking alligator. A lot of y'all expect me to give a fuck about kids that you don't. No. If you're not thinking of how your vote affects the safety and future of your children, I'm not thinking about it. I'm trying to fix the world you ruined to save my fucking children. I expect to see every able-bodied Trump supporter out there doing search and rescue for every natural disaster that hits, sending all of their Social Security and temporary assistance for needy families to the GoFundMe to pay for funeral and home repair. That is on y'all. It's not on us. I'm not even going to send a thought or a prayer because I will not actively interrupt the wrath of God to stop your karma. He is in real time showing you that he don't fuck with y'all for using his name in vain. This isn't just what you voted for. It is undoubtedly what you deserve. You should be so thankful that you're paying for the disgusting sins of blasphemy in this life and not the fucking next, because that one is eternal. Have the fucking day you voted for.
So you mean to tell me that you knew that you were nothing but a mere green card holder? But not just that, a green card holder that had been convicted of 2 crimes, right? You were not an American citizen, yet you still had unwavering support for Donald Trump until the mass deportations caught up with your ass. Now you stuck in Canada and you talking about you have a reversal for your support on Donald Trump. Ain't no reverse, bitch. This is not Uno. It's not Uno. Ain't no reversal. And in case you don't know what I'm talking about, his name is Chris Landry. Let me show you the clips with Chris from CBS Boston.
Earlier today, what is he saying about the situation?
Well, Priscilla, he says he's lived here in New Hampshire for over 40 years. He goes back and forth to Canada at least once a year and has never had a problem until now.
I'm a legal resident green card holder. I have been since 1981.
Chris Landry has lived in New Hampshire since he was 3 years old. He has a partner, 5 children, and a job in manufacturing. He was stopped at the border in Holton, Maine on Sunday.
Real quick, a couple of questions. You've been in this country for 40 years and you never thought about getting your paperwork done? You never thought about actually becoming a legalized American citizen? Why? It's clear you weren't going no fucking where. So why didn't you actually become an American citizen, since America is so great, and that you actually wanted and supported America becoming great again through Donald Trump? But let's get back to Chris Landry and his story.
Just very uncertain for me right now. I might end up spending the rest of my life in Canada, and who knows if I'll ever even have the right to re-enter the United States at this point.
Landry, who lives in Peterborough, New Hampshire, was with 3 of his children when he was stopped at the border. The children will make their way home in the days ahead. Landry says he goes to Canada at least once a year and has never had a problem until now. Why do you think this time it's a problem?
Because of the new administration and their new policies.
As a Canadian citizen, he couldn't vote for president, but he did support Donald Trump.
I was definitely, all for Make America Great Again and having a strong, unified country and a bright future for my 5 American children. But now I feel a little differently.
Nah. Keep that same energy. Keep that same fucking energy. Because although you could not vote, which is really fucking ironic, although you could not vote, you still supported him and his claims in terms of what he promised that he was going to do if he were to reach office again. One of those things was mass deportation. And not just anything, he vowed to be able to get rid of the criminals in our country. You, sir, are a criminal.
In 2004 and 2007, Landry faced charges of marijuana possession and driving with a suspended license, but says he's had no criminal record since. He was given a suspended sentence and paid his fine.
I don't understand why you want to reverse your support on him. He stated that he was going to conduct mass deportations. You are not from this country. You are not a citizen of this country. And he stated that he was going to get rid of the criminals. You are a criminal. I don't understand. You should be fucking happy. You should be happy.
Telling us in a statement, possessing a green card is a privilege, not a right. And under our nation's laws, our government has the authority to revoke a green card if our laws are broken and abused. Lawful permanent residents presenting at a U.S. port of entry with previous criminal convictions may be subject to mandatory detention and or may be asked to provide additional documentation to be...
Like, sir, you're a whole criminal. You're a whole criminal. I don't care if you got your life together. Those convictions stuck. You understand? And like they stated, a green card is a privilege, not a right. In all honesty, this is one of the few cases in which I would actually say that Donald Trump and his mass deportations got it right. They got it right. The way that I see it, right? 1, you are not in handcuffs. You're not in no detention center where you would have been mistreated and most likely, due to some of the conditions, might be found unalive the next day. Right? You are actually in your place of origin. They let you stay in Canada. They didn't ship you off anywhere else where you have family there because, like you said, you make a vacation out there at least once a year. So you know how to move around on top of it actually being your country of origin. You understand? I think that everything went well. This is how it should happen. I mean, yes, you did not receive your due process, but according to what they stated, you have been convicted. You've been convicted. So you should understand what happens next. But all of a sudden, though, because now you are in the finding out phase from the fuck around part, right? Now you want to do this whole, I want to reverse my support for Donald Trump. Like I stated before, this is not Uno, bitch. Ain't no reverse. Okay? You deal with the cards that you were fucking dealt.
Barack Obama once said, elections have consequences. And I say to the American people, elections have consequences. This big, beautiful bill is the sum total of everything we warned Trump supporters about. So many of you were voting on emotion, but not facts. You were voting on what you felt, not what was known, not what was given. The Republican Party, for Christ's sake, wrote out an entire book called Project 2025, a roadmap to what it is they wanted to achieve once they obtained power. And many of you refused to read it. Many of you refused to understand the content that was in that book. And now, because of your ignorance, You're now in a situation where you have a president that you supported who is doing everything in his power to uproot y'all's lives. This big, beautiful bill strips the very programs that many Trump supporters benefit from, and also those who did not vote for Donald Trump. Your white, uneducated Americans who live in rural areas, you guys are going to be hurting soon. That hospital that exists in your small town is about to be stripped clean because it received a lot of government subsidies to stay open. That way you didn't have to drive miles and miles and miles to the next hospital. Now you won't have that anymore. Those hospitals will now close. This is why it's so important to vote based off of facts and not your opinion, not your emotions, and not what you feel. Because you end up in situations like this. And I say again, my fellow Americans, elections have consequences. And this is a consequence of the vote you all casted in November of last year. Live with it.
So I just saw this clip of a Trump supporter asking how come everybody who goes to college is a Biden supporter. Watch this.
I just wonder too, I mean, how come almost everybody I know of that went to college is a Biden supporter?
Yeah.
And I don't understand how everybody is a Biden supporter if you just went to college. So what are they teaching in this college? Are they teaching anything?
Stuff like inclusivity and respecting other people, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, woke.
Yeah, wokeness.
I really like that other guy's answer there because they teach inclusivity and how to respect and treat other people in college. That's very true. But also, the question kind of answers itself. When you go to college, you're taught to analyze evidence, question sources, and fact-check claims. And all of these things don't sit well in a party that's built on conspiracy theories and culture war nonsense. It's not that going to college makes you a liberal. It's the fact that being exposed to science, history, economics, and reality makes you a lot less likely to fall for populist propaganda. It's not surprising at all that the more educated you are, the more likely you are to vote blue. So instead of mocking education, I think the Republican Party needs to ask themselves why they are so out of touch with people who study facts for a living.